Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something pretty significant in the online world.
Yeah, we're looking at how Meta, Facebook and Instagram is making some, well, pretty big moves to attract content creators.
Exactly. And we've got some interesting stuff to guide us, articles from TubeFilter, Forbes, some official Meta announcements.
And this really fascinating internal note we managed to look at. It kind of lays out the thinking behind it all.
Right, and that internal note, it gave us this core idea, like a theme for our discussion today. We're sort of calling it the executive note.
Because it really highlights this fundamental shift, doesn't it? For ages, Meta wasn't really the top choice for creators, was it?
No, not always. YouTube, TikTok, they often seemed, well, more appealing in terms of tools and actually making money.
And this executive note basically says Meta knew that. They saw they were lagging behind.
Okay, so the note points to Meta realizing they needed a serious course correction.
Yeah, and it mentions a deliberate pivot, moving away from the heavy support they used to give traditional news publishers.
In putting a much stronger focus now on individual creators. So why the big change? What's the thinking there?
Well, the executive note frames it as a core strategic decision, not just a minor tweak. They saw where the energy, the audience attention was going, the creator world.
Makes sense. You have to follow the eyeballs, right?
Exactly. So to compete, they realized they had to build better infrastructure. That means features, yes, but also payouts, things to attract and, crucially, keep creators.
And the money aspect is key, I imagine. The note hints at that.
Oh, definitely. It strongly suggests that grabbing a bigger slice of the digital ad market is a major, major driver here.
Which ties straight into what Forbes was saying, doesn't it? About the potential TikTok ban in the U.S.
Absolutely. Forbes crunched some numbers, estimating Meta could see, billions in extra ad revenue if TikTok gets banned, like $2.5 to $3.4 billion in 2025 alone.
Wow. Okay, with numbers like that, you can really see why they'd invest heavily in becoming the place for creators to land.
Precisely. Forbes basically positions this whole creator push as Meta getting ready, building an attractive alternative just in case creators suddenly need one. Proactive, not reactive.
It's not just about the money, though, is it? Forbes also mentioned Zuckerberg wanting to bring Facebook back to its roots, restore its cultural influence.
Yeah, that was an interesting angle. It suggests that having a vibrant, influential creator community is seen as key to Facebook's, maybe Meta's overall relevance and image.
Okay, so the why seems pretty clear. Competition, potential market shifts, ad revenue, and maybe even a bit of cultural ambition. Let's get into the what. What are they actually doing? Trial reels on Instagram seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, trial reels. TubeFilter covered this recently. It's fascinating because creators are using it in a way Meta probably didn't fully anticipate.
How so? Wasn't it meant for, testing video ideas with a small group first, before you show everyone?
That was the original idea, yeah. Share it with non-followers, get some insights within 24 hours, see if it works, then decide to share it widely or let it auto-share if it does well.
But that's not quite how it's playing out.
Well, creators figured out you could use it as a kind of growth hack instead of testing new stuff.
They're taking their old videos, the ones that already did really well.
Exactly, and pushing them out again via trial reels, specifically to reach new audiences, non-followers. And it's working.
Like that at Chelsea Explains example TubeFilter mentioned, gaining, 450,000 followers in just a couple of months using this.
Yeah, and others apparently finding their best performing old videos work great for this tactic. It's pure audience growth.
You have to wonder if Instagram is okay with that. Is it gaming the system?
That's the interesting question, right?
Oh.
Adam Mosseri, head of Instagram, keeps talking about watch time, likes, sends being key metrics.
And this hack drives those metrics up, presumably. More views, more engagement overall on Reels.
It seems like it does. So even if it wasn't the intended use, TubeFilter suggests Instagram is sort of letting it happen because, well, it boosts Reels content volume and engagement right when they're fighting hard against TikTok.
Clever. Creators are always finding ways, aren't they? But okay, growth hacks are one thing. Long term, creators need reliable ways to earn money. What's happening on the monetization front?
Right, and this is a big one. Meta announced this new Facebook content monetization beta.
Beta, okay. So still testing.
Yeah, invite only for now. But the key thing is consolidation. They're merging several existing programs. In-stream ads for longer videos, ads on Reels for short stuff, and the performance bonus payout.
All into one single program.
That's the plan. One program to earn from Reels, longer videos, even photos and text posts, apparently. with unified insights too.
Okay, that sounds much, much simpler than juggling different rules and dashboards for everything.
Definitely. Meta's announcement pointed out they paid creators over $2 billion last year.
$2 billion.
Yeah, and saw 80% growth in payouts just for Reels and short videos. So the money's flowing, but the old system was maybe a bit clunky.
And our executive note, did it touch on this complexity issue?
It did. It sort of reinforces the idea that simplified monetization was a necessary step to make the platform more attractive, removing those hurdles.
So this beta is invite only for now. Who gets in, and when does it roll out wider?
The internal note we saw gave a bit more detail. It's initially targeting creators already using Facebook's monetization tools. Wider access is planned for sometime in 2025.
And if you get invited, you're basically switching over completely. No going back to the old separate programs.
It seems that way. The note says once you're onboarded to the beta, you can't participate in the individual legacy programs anymore. It's an all-in move to this new unified system.
Good to know. The note also mentioned practical stuff, like how you find out if you're invited, in the app or Business Suite.
Yeah, check the Facebook app, Meta Business Suite, or your professional dashboard. And they specifically warn creators to be wary of unofficial messages or emails about it. Stick to the official channels.
Smart. What's interesting is how you earn. The note mentioned it's not just about ads being placed, right?
Correct. It emphasizes rewards for high-quality, well-performing public content. So it seems tied more broadly to engagement and maybe content value, not just whether an ad ran next to it.
Performance-based, then, still.
Yes. The payout model remains performance-based. They also mention a 15-second minimum video length is intended, but apparently it's not strictly enforced right now in the beta.
Okay. And the usual rules apply about what doesn't qualify. Copyrighted stuff, branded content that isn't declared properly.
Yep, the standard list. Copyrighted material, certain branded content, unsupported languages, stuff that's just cross-posted without effort, boosted posts, deleted content, anything with disabled ads or showing signs of inauthentic engagement. Pretty standard platform rules.
Makes sense. The internal note also flagged a couple of big wins for creators in this new system.
Yeah, two key things it highlighted were finally being able to monetize static image posts, which is new.
Oh, interesting. So not just video.
Right. And the second big win is just the simplified, all-in-one onboarding process. Much easier to get set up.
Okay, sounds promising overall, but there's a catch.
Well, the note itself acknowledges that the exact eligibility criteria for getting invited to the beta right now, they're not super clear. It's still a bit opaque.
So creators might be wondering, how do I get in? And the answer is, wait and see.
Pretty much, for now. They can express interest, but the specific metrics or thresholds for an invite aren't public knowledge yet. That's definitely causing some uncertainty.
Understood. Now, beyond this big monetization beta, Forbes mentioned some other things Meta's doing too. Other incentives.
Yeah, quite a few actually. There's the Breakthrough Bonus program, offering bonuses potentially up to $5,000 for consistent posting.
Though Forbes noted a perception that it might favor creators who already have big followings.
That was mentioned, yeah. Then there are those eye-popping exclusive deals for big TikTok creators.
Right, paying them substantial amounts like $2,500 up to $50,000 a month. Some deals even hitting $300,000 over 6 months just to post Reels exclusively on Instagram for a while.
That's serious money. A very direct way to poach talent or at least secure their presence.
Definitely sends a message. What else?
An updated Reels Play bonus program, offering top performers potentially up to $35,000 a month. They're also expanding their creator marketplace for brands to find creators for sponsorships.
So facilitating those brand deals too.
And new tools, an AI-powered video editing app called Edits, a simple tap-to-pause feature on Reels, which users wanted.
Little quality of life things.
Yeah, and even deploying AI-generated characters, though the application there is maybe less clear right now. But it shows they're throwing a lot at the wall, tool-wise.
It really is a multi-pronged attack, isn't it? Big money, easier monetization, new tools, growth features. And this isn't just a U.S. thing, is it? The Forbes piece talked about global impact.
Absolutely crucial point. While the potential TikTok ban is a U.S. issue, the ripples are global. So many international creators depend on reaching that huge U.S. audience.
So uncertainty in the U.S. market makes creators everywhere nervous.
Exactly. Forbes mentioned creators in Canada, the U.K., Australia, India. Places that have maybe seen TikTok bans before or just feel the uncertainty are already diversifying, making sure they have a strong presence elsewhere.
And Meta's platforms, being global, are well-positioned.
Very well-positioned. These new monetization tools, the bonus programs, they aren't just U.S. only. Instagram Reels, in particular, is becoming a key way for international creators to connect with American viewers.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. Thinking back to that executive note.
Yeah, it really feels like the anchor point. It confirms this isn't just random updates. It's a deliberate, major strategic shift inside Meta.
A shift away from focusing so much on traditional publishers. Yeah.
And a massive investment in winning over individual creators, driven by competition, especially with TikTok, and definitely eyeing that potential ad revenue windfall if a ban happens.
And they're doing it through things like trial reels, even if used unexpectedly for growth, and this big streamlined content monetization beta, plus all those other bonuses and tools.
Precisely. The executive note gives us the why, and all these features and programs are the what's and how. It's a coordinated push.
It really makes you, the listener, think, doesn't it, about the content you consume, where your favorite creators might start spending more time.
Or if you're someone who creates content, or even just thinks about it, these changes could present some real opportunities. The landscape is definitely shifting.
So the big question hanging in the air is, with all this investment, this focus, this aggressive strategy, is Meta actually poised to become the dominant platform for creators?
And maybe more broadly, what does this intensified competition mean for the future of the creator economy overall? What will it look like in, say, a year or two? Definitely something to keep an eye on.